Friday, the 23rd of February. I'm Stephen Ridgway. So I hope you've all had a good week. One more briefing till the weekend, and yeah, hopefully your weekend is going to be nice. So the Federal Trade Commission has hit the antivirus vendor Avast with $16.5 million fine over charges that the firm sold users' browsing data to advertisers after claiming its products would block online tracking. So basically, it looks like Avast has been being particularly dishonest, frankly, with what they do with your data. The FTC has said Avast unfairly collected consumers' browsing information through the company's browser extensions and antivirus software, stored it indefinitely, and sold it without consumer consent. Now, knowing as we do how little there is in the way of protection about these sorts of things in the States, this is I think even like behind this there must be something absolutely shockingly bad about what they've been doing with this data. I wasn't aware, but apparently Google Chrome, Mozilla, and Firefox have removed Avast's browser add-ons from their stores. At least, yeah. In the relatively recent past. Wasn't aware of that. Interesting to see. So it basically looks like Avast is in trouble. They will need to sort this stuff out. They were selling it via a subsidiary called JumpShot. They have terminated, as it were, JumpShot's their contract with JumpShot, and JumpShot's operations have been shut down. So they have realized what was that they were going to be in trouble over this stuff, and have I think bolted the stable door in response to the horse leaving. So bear in mind also that Avast has merged with Norton LifeLock to form a new parent called Gen Digital. Now that also includes products from AVG, Avira, and CCleaner. So there may well be other nasties lurking in that space. But yeah, if you are running Avast software, antivirus software, or browser plugins, just be aware that your data has been sold. If you feel like moving to a different supplier, nobody would blame you. There's an article in Dark Reading that talks about zero-click Apple Shortcuts vulnerability allows silent data theft. So Apple Shortcuts is kind of like it's a feature that's widely used for efficient task management. So it's one of those, I guess, one of those things that you get access to if you've got Xcode installed and you do like little, right? I don't think I've ever used it, to be honest, because I write my scripts in Bash. But there is a sort of little scripting language that you've got access to via the OS, which allows you to automate little tasks and bits and pieces. It's quite. However, there is a vulnerability in it which will allow data information. So recommendation is that patch CVEs. I've just had a message come through saying there was a mic failure, so I don't know how much of this you heard. I'm going to skip through this one just as a quick update then. So there's a zero-click Apple in the Apple shortcuts, a zero-click vulnerability in the Apple shortcuts, allows for data exfiltration. CVE is 2024-23204, and the solution to it is to patch and keep up to date. So yeah, so that was that should be okay. And I've just heard from colleague Ross that my microphone is back on again, so all good. Also talking about Apple things, Apple has unveiled post-quantum encryption for iMessage. They're calling it, unsurprisingly, PQ3. So this is a good thing that organizations, larger organizations, vendors are taking this stuff seriously. Don't expect this will be the last iteration of these things. I'm absolutely certain that there will be weaknesses and vulnerabilities found in all of these post-quantum, the current generation of post-quantum encryption algorithms. However, it's a rapidly moving field. These things will get fixed and things will be moving forward. As far as I know, that's the first of the major vendors to be talking about rolling out post-quantum encryption for their messaging systems, which is, yeah, I think it's a very interesting approach. There's in the article from the Hacker News, there is they set out kind of who's doing what at the moment in the arena of messaging cryptography, so categorizing things from no end-to-end encryption, end-to-end encryption by default, and then post-quantum key establishments, post-quantum key establishments, and ongoing post-quantum key re-keying. iMessage is then obviously at the very the furthest forward with those. Signal is has got level 2, so post-quantum key establishment. Majority of other solutions provide end-to-end encryption by default. So, WhatsApp, previous versions of Signal, previous versions of iMessage, Skype and WeChat, and actually Telegram as well, don't offer end-to-end encryption by default. So it's just worth being aware of these things. So yeah, a lot of movement in that space. Very interesting. That things are moving in that direction. I think we will see an increasing trend of implementing these post-quantum algorithms in the future. And then, so finally from me today, another one that goes in the bucket of seriously, you can do that. Researchers unveil sound-based attack. Swipe sounds are used to recreate fingerprints. Oh no. Yeah, apparently, although it isn't simple to do by any manner of means, and it is very far from repeatable, but it is possible to recreate partial fingerprints in nearly 30% of cases, and full fingerprints in around 9% of cases, given 5 attempts to listen to your finger on the screen. Yeah. Yes, where do we go with this? Well, I mean, okay, yeah, so it does fit into this whole this whole discussion that we've been having for a while on during the briefings around how good are biometrics when it comes to you can call it authentication, you can call it identification, it doesn't really matter, but basically unlocking your devices using biometrics. This isn't one I anticipated. I think that's a very unusual thing. Although I don't know how close you have to be to the device to do this. I would suspect relatively close, or be able to use the device itself. Yeah, they do talk about in the study I've just spotted that finger swiping friction can be captured by attackers online with a high possibility. So yeah, common communication in apps like Discord, chat, WeChat, FaceTime, whatever. Okay, so basically they're saying they can grab your fingerprint by listening to you lock and unlock your phone, I guess, when you're using any of these apps that have got access to the mic. So there you go. Then it will be something that people will look into how to exploit. Very, very interesting. Anyway, look, there's a lot of this stuff that goes on. This one, it sounds ridiculous, but according to this article in Cybersecurity News, in extensive real-world experiments, Print Listener demonstrates remarkable success in compromising fingerprint security, surpassing unassisted dictionary attacks. So watch out if you rely on your fingerprints. Your fingerprints are no longer secure. Biometrics is it sounds great to the uninitiated. It's fraught with problems. We're going to see more of this stuff going forward. So that's enough from me for a Friday morning. I hope you all have a super weekend, and I will speak to you all again on Monday morning.